Hey Commanders fans, smash that like button if you believe this team is built for a Super Bowl run in 2025. Today, we're diving into two huge developments that could shape the rest of the offseason in Ashburn. One dream might be slipping away, while another must become reality. The Trey Hendrickson to Washington buzz? It might be officially dead. And Terry McLaurin? Well, if Adam Peters doesn't lock him up with a massive extension soon, this situation could spiral fast. Let's break down what just happened in Cincinnati that might have closed the door on Hendrickson, and why the Commanders need to pay Scary Terry top dollar, and do it now, before it's too late. Washington fans have been dreaming about adding one more explosive edge rusher to Dan Quinn's arsenal, and Trey Hendrickson was the name that kept popping up. The Bengals' Pro Bowl pass rusher has been locked in a contract standoff for months. Hendrickson even requested a trade earlier this offseason, opening the door for Adam Peters to possibly swoop in. And let's be honest, Peters has shown us he's not afraid to make bold moves. He traded for Deebo Samuel. He landed Laramie Tunsil. The man is playing chess, not checkers, but Monday morning brought a gut punch. Cincinnati released linebacker Jermaine Pratt, their starting tackler, clearing nearly $6 million in cap space. And that move might have ended Washington's Hendrickson dream. Why? Because cutting Pratt wasn't just about cap flexibility. It looks like the Bengals are freeing up money to give Hendrickson the extension he's been fighting for. You don't cut your top linebacker unless you're confident you're keeping your best pass rusher. Is it official yet? No, but the writing's on the wall. So where does that leave the Commanders? Now that Hendrickson is likely staying in Cincinnati, Washington has to look elsewhere to bolster its edge presence. Yes, the team drafted dynamic Georgia pass rusher Michael Williams, a long-term weapon for Joe Witt Jr., but that's a future piece. Right now, the Commanders are still looking for immediate impact. Dante Fowler Jr. is gone. Dorrance Armstrong is solid, but not a dominant presence. KJ Henry and Andre Jones Jr. have promise, but are they ready for primetime? That's where Peters has to get creative again. Could he circle back to a name like AJ Epinesa? Maybe even test the waters with Danielle Hunter if Minnesota isn't locked in? The bottom line, missing on Hendrickson hurts. But with Peters in charge, the search for pass rush help is not over. With Hendrickson likely staying put, the Commanders' front office needs to pivot, and fast. Because while the trade market cools off, the Terry McLaurin situation is heating up. Scary Terry just finished a career-best season. 1,400 plus receiving yards. 13 touchdowns, second most in the entire NFL. Second team All-Pro. Second career Pro Bowl. He's become the heartbeat of this offense. A captain, a leader, and the favorite target of Jaden Daniels. But here's the problem. McLaurin is entering the final year of his contract. And guess what? He skipped OTAs. And reports say he's frustrated with the lack of progress on an extension. Let that sink in. The face of your offense, the guy doing everything right, is holding out because the front office hasn't sealed the deal yet. This isn't just business. This is about trust. And Commanders fans, this moment feels dangerous. NFL insider Mike Fisher just dropped a bombshell. He says Washington should, and likely will, offer Terry McLaurin a 3-year, $100 million extension. That's $33 million per year, putting McLaurin right. Up there with guys like A.J. Brown in Philly DK, Metcalf in Pittsburgh, and Justin Jefferson, who's about to reset the entire market. Is it a steep price? Absolutely. But here's the reality. It won't seem steep a year from now. McLaurin is 29. He's still got elite speed, elite separation, and a connection with Daniels that's only getting stronger. You want to maximize your rookie QB's window? Then locking up his WR1 is non-negotiable. A 2026 first-round pick doesn't help you win now, but a happy, healthy, fully invested McLaurin does. The question isn't if they should pay him. It's, what are they waiting for? Don't underestimate how. This McLaurin contract situation impacts the locker room. Guys like Jaden Daniels, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson Jr. They're watching. They see how the organization treats its veterans. If you want to build a winning culture, it starts with rewarding the right people. You don't let your captain twist in the wind. Paying McLaurin now sends a powerful message that Washington values loyalty, that production matters, and that this team takes care of its leaders. Otherwise, the frustration spreads, and once that happens, it's hard to pull it back in. Washington Commanders GM Adam Peters has made it clear this offseason, no stone goes unturned when it comes to building a contender. From trading for Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil, to letting go of familiar faces like Jonathan Allen and Curtis Samuel, Peters has operated with the kind of precision and ruthlessness you see from true championship-caliber front offices. And guess what? That aggression could pay off again. Because as of this week, 2 battle-tested defensive veterans have suddenly hit the open market, and they fit Dan Quinn's scheme like a glove. We're talking about cornerback Jair Alexander, a 2-time Pro Bowler released by the Packers after trade talk stalled, and linebacker Jermaine Pratt, the Bengals' defensive captain and 143 tackle. Machine in 2024, released in a surprise cap move. These aren't just depth signings. These are plug-and-play starters who can elevate this defense from solid to scary. Let's start with the bombshell in Green Bay, Jair Alexander. This guy was once considered one of the best man-cover corners in the NFL. Injuries have slowed him down, but when healthy, he's sticky in coverage, aggressive at the catch point, and brings that alpha mentality you want in your secondary. Alexander's release shocked the league, but it may be a blessing in disguise for Washington. Because if there's one thing Dan Quinn values in his corners, it's physicality and confidence. And you put Alexander across from first-round rookie Mike Sainristil with Quan Martin roaming over the top, that's a secondary nobody wants to throw against. Now look, durability concerns are real, but under Joe Witt Jr.'s tutelage and with Washington's improving sports science staff, this is a low-risk, high-reward move. Alexander just turned 28. He's still got tread on those tires. He wouldn't need to be the savior. Just another weapon in a revamped defense that already features Sainristil, Jeremy Chin, Tyler Owens, and breakout candidate Trey Amos.Bottom. Line: Jair Alexander being available for nothing is the definition of a silver platter opportunity. Now let's shift gears to Jermaine Pratt, who might be the most Commanders-ready linebacker available on the market. 30 tackles in 2024. Defensive. Captain. High IQ, tough as nails, and suddenly cut loose by the Bengals in a cost-cutting move. This one raised a few eyebrows, especially since he requested a trade earlier this offseason. But now, he's free to sign with anyone. And Washington should be calling his agent yesterday. Yes, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu are entrenched starters, but Wagner is 34. Louvu plays fast and violent, but he can't be asked to cover for 2. And let's be honest, rookies Jordan Magee and Kane Medrano, promising. Yes, but not plug-and-play ready. Pratt brings downhill speed and sideline-to-sideline tackling. Sure, he's had some hiccups in coverage, but you put him in a Quinn-designed system with clean responsibilities, and suddenly you've got a 100-tackle linebacker next to a Hall of Famer. Think about this. What if something happens to Wagner? Mid-season? Are you comfortable rolling with rookies in a playoff push? This is where depth and leadership matter. Pratt can give you both. And in a culture being rebuilt by Quinn and Peters, that's invaluable. This is the hidden storyline. These aren't just players. They're culture guys. Leaders who've been in the trenches of postseason football. Peters has been quietly building a locker room that doesn't just talk about toughness, it embodies it. Adding Jair Alexander or Jermaine Pratt sends a loud message. We're not just here to develop. We're here to win now. And think about the effect that has on the young guys. Sainristil, Jaden Daniels, Tavondre Sweat, even Brian Thomas Jr. When they see veterans walk through that door, guys with playoff experience, Pro Bowl accolades, and chips on their shoulder, That's when the culture shift becomes real. That's when you start building something that lasts longer than one good season. Here's where Adam Peters earns his money. Right now. The market is soft. Both Alexander and Pratt were cut. No draft picks required. No bidding wars, yet. No compensatory pick math to worry about. It's the perfect time to get value before training camp injuries ramp up demand across the league. And if you're Washington, you've got cap space. You've got a defense ready to take the leap. You've got a new identity that's starting to stick, so make the call. Don't wait for someone else to swoop in. Let's not forget, this team opens against the Giants in Week 1. You stack Alexander in the secondary and Pratt in the middle. You're going into that game with serious teeth on defense. So to recap, the dream of landing Trey Hendrickson? Likely gone. But the Commanders can't afford to dwell on what might have been. The focus now has to shift to what's right in front of them. Terry McLaurin, your all-pro wide receiver, waiting on the extension he's earned. So, Washington, it's time. Pay him. Show this locker room what kind of culture you're building. Now let's hear from you. Should the Commanders offer McLaurin $100 million? And who would you target now that Hendrickson is off the table? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like this video if you're riding with Terry. And don't forget to subscribe to Commanders HQ, your one spot for everything burgundy and gold all. Off-season long, we've got more updates from minicamp coming your way this week. Stay locked in. Commanders HQ, out.